Hi, everyone. It is Tuesday, December the 8th, and I am I am here, and I hope you are here as well. So, today I'm going to talk about the law of the mirror. But before I jump in, just want to see how you are doing on today. On I think we're 2.5 weeks to Christmas, something like that. And I know I spoke about this last week with the roadblocks. Some of us, because I am one of those people that really have go through some difficult feelings during Christmas and New Year's and the holidays in general. So really want to know how you're feeling, how you're doing. Um, if there's anything I can do to help, or if that's even like referring a book to you or listening, definitely reach out to me because I want to help others in during this time. And because I know what I go through, I want to be there for you. So today on December 8th, we are going to talk about the law of the mirror. And again, and we kind of got off the laws last week when I was talking about roadblocks. But today, we're going to get back to the 15 valuable laws of growth. So this is a book by John C. Maxwell. And the law of the mirror is one of the 15 invaluable laws of growth. So law of the mirror says you must see value in yourself and add value to yourself. And so we've discussed the law of awareness, we've discussed the law of intentionality, and this is the third law, the law of the mirror. And the law of the mirror really says, how do you look at yourself? Like when you look in the mirror and try it. So it's funny because a lot of us look in the mirror and we just are looking at, I need to put my makeup on. I need to brush my teeth. I need to wash my face. But are we really looking ourselves in the eyes? And do you even talk to yourself? Some of us don't. Some of us don't. We don't want to talk to ourselves. And so we kind of just look in the mirror very haphazardly and we go along our day. But as you see in this photo, it's really about our potential. So when I look in the mirror, I ask myself, am I seeing who I used to be, my past? Am I seeing who I am right now? Or am I seeing potential? Am I seeing my future? So when you think about the law of the mirror and looking in the mirror, just think about that. Who do you see? Who do you what are you seeing? I like this photo because it shows a cat, and it's a house cat, and he is looking at himself in the mirror, and he sees a lion. He sees the courageous animal. He sees the king of the forest. So, how do you see yourself? So, when we look in the mirror, um, and you think about how you value yourself, and we talk to our teenagers and our youth and our kids, and we tell them you can do whatever you put your mind to. You have lots of potential. If you want to go to college to be a doctor, you can go for it. You should do it. You can get A's. Like we tell our young people this on a um, constant basis, really. But then when we as adults, and I know most of you who are following me and viewing my videos are adults where you have responsibilities, you have house payment, like you have all these things going on. And so when these come across to us or opportunities come to us, how many of us say an opportunity comes and we say, you know what, I may not be 100% skilled for that opportunity, but I'm going to go for it anyway. Or we say, you know what, the opportunity came across my way and I may not be ready for it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Many of us don't. Many of us say, no, I can't do it. I'm not skilled. I'm not knowledgeable. We put all these I am not in front of that. And then we make the choice to not pursue the opportunity. It's because how we view ourselves. So how I view myself really determines how I'm going to behave. If I view myself as a unworthy, unloved, if I view myself as not having the potential, then I'm going to behave in that manner. So when those opportunities come, when an opportunity comes at work for me to lead a team or lead a presentation or lead a discussion, because I don't look at myself as being the type of person that can do it, then I decide not to do it. So your view of yourself determines your behavior. The second point that I want to talk about is you will never outperform your self-image. So what does that mean? That means if my view of myself is very negative, let's say I grew up in a very negative home, where my parents just didn't speak any life or encouragement, or didn't build me up, didn't push me to do things, kind of just let me be. But at the same time, everything I did, it was a negative connotation put to it or criticism. When that happens, that affects my self-image. So even as I grow to an adult, I still carry with me that low self-image. So if I grew up in a household like that and I'm still carrying that negative self-image, then I can only go so far in life. And so it's so very important and we can't control and we can't change our past. We can't make it different than what it is today, but we can decide to change, and we can decide that, you know what, I'm 47 years old and this has been my life, but now I choose to think differently. Now I choose to be differently. Now I choose to believe in myself. Now I choose to value myself because my performance is based on how I view myself. And the third one is the value we put on ourselves is the value others will put upon us. And that's very true when you think about it. If I'm given the opportunity, going back to the example of somebody at their office or at work, and you're given the opportunity to lead, but then you don't because you don't see yourself as a leader. You don't think people will respect you. You have all these reasons why you just don't want to do it. So when you do that, you don't realize that other people will they will value you the same way. Like they may believe in you at first and they may encourage you and tell you, you may have a manager that sees something inside of you and says, you can do it. You should go back and get your degree. You should do this. You should lead this team. You should do whatever. And because you say, oh no, I don't think I'm good enough, or I'm not ready for that, or I'm not educated enough. Eventually that manager will say, you know what? I'm just not going to push you anymore. And so they begin to, whatever your value of yourself is, they begin to think the same way and they believe it because you believe it. So if in order for me to get past all of that, I have to do whatever it takes to look at myself in the mirror and see my who I am, who God created me to be, first of all, but then I also be able to see my potential. And that's so important because if I can't see my potential when I look in the mirror, then there's some work that I need to have done, and we all need to work on ourselves. And so that is that look in the mirror. And I really want to encourage you to take that time to do it. Um, there's a quote by John Maxwell says, if you place a small value on yourself, rest assured the world will not raise the price. That's kind of deep to me. I don't know what you think, so I would love to hear in the chat whenever you view this video, whether you view it on Facebook or YouTube, or you view the replay. I would love to hear what you think about that. If you place a small value on yourself, rest assured the world will not raise the price. And my example is when you apply for a job. You apply for a position, normally when we apply, and especially if we get that call back, that first call back, then what do? We're looking up, that title, and we're looking to find out what the salary requirements are. Many times when we do that, some of us will look at the salary requirements, look at the salary expectations, or see what the proposed salary would be for that job in different industries in our state. Some of us will say, okay, this job makes 85,000 to 120,000. Great. I'm going to go for it because I know I'm worth this amount of money. I'm good, right? But then there's some of us that will look at that 85,000 to 120,000 and will say, "Oh no, I I I never made that much money. I think I can do the job. I think I can do the job, but I don't know. Now I'm doubting myself that maybe I'm really not qualified because the salary is higher than what I made in the past." So those are things that is a prime example of this quote, because if I don't value myself highly and think that I can go for that job that pays between 85 and 120,000, then I say, you know what, I'm going to decline that interview, or I'm going to botch the interview without really realizing I do it. And then I'm going to go for a job that pays 65 to 85 because that's what I'm used to making. So don't do that. You are so precious and your value is so high. And we just have to believe in it. We have what we need inside of us. We have the potential. We have the abilities. We just need to believe that that's what we have. So I want to share this slide because when I think about value and looking in the mirror and seeing our true potential, it all goes back to self-esteem. And so these are some steps that I've taken out of the book. And I want to share, and I want to go through them because during this holiday season, many of us suffer, or we struggle, or we just don't really enjoy the holidays like we did in years past because things have happened over in our lives and it affects how we view the holidays, which is fine, which is something that I have come to deal with and I embrace. And I know ever since my mom passed away, it's been 15 years, but I still miss her. I don't know, every other day, every day, once a month, but I miss her. But then the holidays, because it was her favorite holiday, was always an adjustment for me. And I try to make the best out of it, but it's a hard holiday. And as life has happened and, and, and things have happened and people have gone on, and we all know how that feels. So we tend to miss the holidays or not really look forward to them, I should say. So when it comes to that, one important thing to do that I've done in the past is I've just focused on my self-esteem and making sure that I value myself, making sure that I feel as though I'm worthy, making sure that I am not allowing other people to value me or devalue me, I should say. So one of the things is take 100% responsibility for your life. I've heard this statement so much this summer because it's so true. And many times as we're adults, like I'm 47, I'll be 48 in 2 months. Yeah, about 2 months. And many times I have taken that moment and blamed my parents for how I was raised. I blame my friend for betraying me. I blame my neighbor for not cutting the grass right. Like I blame everybody for things. And especially as we get older and we get into adulthood and we sometimes look at other people who are around our age group and we see what they've accomplished. Sometimes at that point we blame our parents. We say, I would have been where she is if my parents would have encouraged me to go away to school, or I would have been where he is if my parents would have been more supportive and let me play baseball. We come up with all these different things, but no, it's time out. We're all adults. Take 100% responsibility for your life, not 99%, not 99.5%, 100%. And when you embrace taking 100% responsibility of your life, it changes your perspective. And so I encourage you to do that. Like I really do, because I've seen it happen in my life. when I took 100% responsibility, then that whole blaming and shifting the blame to other people, that was no longer there. Even when things happen in where I work, when things happen in my job, and I may not like it, I don't blame anyone else. If I make a mistake or something happens, I'm like, you know what? Moving on. Let me take ownership of that. So take 100% responsibility for your life. The second one is guard your self-talk. Do not say anything to yourself that you wouldn't want anyone to say to you. Do not call yourself stupid. Do not call yourself dumb. Do not say, if you're trying something new or you're into something, you're doing a new project, or you're learning to, how to paint a wall and it doesn't come out right. Do not say, oh, I never get it, because that's not true. So how you talk to yourself or speak to yourself is so important. So if you're listening to, watching this video, and that's something that you have found yourself doing, please stop it. Please switch the words around. Please try to be positive. That affects your mindset. It affects your emotions. It affects who you are. So guard your self-talk. Third one, stop comparing yourself to anyone, whether it's a star, somebody you follow on social media, whether it's someone you know in your neighborhood, at your church, at your school, in your workplace, whoever it is. Stop, because that is not our goal. Our goal, our mission, our goal is not to look at other people and say, oh, I want to be like them, or why do they have what I don't have, and all those things. I need to compare myself against myself. So if I have a goal to read a book, then I need to see if I need to read 5 pages every day, and the next day comes and I didn't read, I need to compare myself against myself that I didn't read that book, not compare myself against someone who read already 5 books and it's only January. Like, think about, all of us are going to create, or most of us will create, resolutions for 2021. And because of what we've gone through in 2020, our resolutions may be a little different, but we're going to have them. We're going to have goals. We're going to have things we want to reach. And many times we'll start on those resolutions, and then we'll go on Facebook and we'll see somebody saying, oh, I ran 3 miles every day. Look at me. I'm out here running. And we're like, I just wanted to walk 30 minutes a day. And I haven't even done that because things happen and I haven't gotten to it. So we get on ourselves. We get sad. We get depressed. No, please stop. Starting right now, December 8th, make a promise to yourself. I am not going to compare myself against other people, no matter what it is, because that's not really my business. My business is me. If I can focus on me and work on me and build myself up, then I can be on the path that I'm supposed to be on without looking to my left or my right and see what someone is doing. So the next one is move beyond your own self-limiting beliefs. I love this one because self-limiting beliefs is something I just discovered over the summer. So probably the first time I heard it was probably around June, July, and I didn't know what it was. And so I started to look it up. And then as I started to increase the different books I was reading, every book, from the moment I learned about self-limiting beliefs, every book that I read had self-limiting belief in it in some way, whether it was in chapter 1, chapter 5, or the end of the book. But every author talked about these beliefs that we put on ourselves that limit us from our full potential. So think about those things that limit you, that, that if you share it with someone else, they'll say, why do you believe that? Why do you think that? Why do you act that way? Sometimes the reason we act a certain way is because we believe a certain thing. So self-limiting beliefs, move beyond it. Not Sometimes it's hard to eliminate it because we're so tied to it, and sometimes we don't even realize we are tied to it. But just move beyond it. That means that decide, okay, identify there's a self-limiting belief, and then own it. Hey, you know what? I never, I struggle with, my family struggle with poverty. I don't think I would ever get out of debt because my family's always in poverty. That's a self-limiting belief, to not think that you can get out of debt, for example. Well, own that and move beyond it. add value to others. And adding value to others, when you begin to pour into others' lives, whether it's your own family, your spouse, your kids, your siblings, you will increase your self-esteem. And that I know for a fact as well. Practice a small discipline daily in a specific area of your life. So when I facilitate my mastermind group, when we did the one for 15 valuable laws of growth, one of the things that I encourage the participants to do was to identify one thing, one small thing that they want to do that they've been putting off doing. And, the participants came back with different things. Like somebody said, you know what, I wash clothes and then I put them in the dryer and then I take them out and I put them in the basket and I don't fold them. I don't hang them up. They just sit there until I need them. And I really want to stop doing that. I really want to take them out the dryer and eventually, put them up, fold them up, put them up, hang them up, get them out of the laundry basket. Another participant said, I grew up making my bed, but as I got an adult, I don't make my bed anymore. I really want to develop that habit again of making my bed. Somebody else said, I just want to get on the Stairmaster, 10 minutes every day. I need to do that. So we all came and identified that one thing that we wanted to do. And we started to practice that discipline, whether it was making that bed, whether it was putting up the dishes instead of letting them sit there in the drain tray for a week, whether it was cleaning out the closet. We all did that, and we found that we developed that small discipline, and we developed a daily habit, which then went into celebrating our small victory. So when we did that, now after a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we're on week 4 of our mastermind group. I come back and I'm like, hey, everybody, ever since I identified that I want to make my bed every day, I've been making my bed for four weeks. That's a small victory. Yeah, it may some of you may be on watching and go, really, DRT, making your bed? But it was a small victory for me. And so and then it caused me to look at other areas of my life that I wanted to make into a daily habit, and I did it. So that's celebrating a small victory. The next one is embrace a positive vision for your life based on what you value. What you value is so important. And if you don't know what you value, please reach out to me. I would love to just have that discussion and to get you really to identify what you value. A lot of times we make goals, we make plans, we live our lives, but we don't even know what we really value, and we wonder why we struggle with so many things. So in order to create that vision, I have to know what I value and I have to implement it. The last thing to build your self-esteem is just do the right thing, even if it's the hard thing. And what that means is that really what it says, like, don't sugarcoat things. If you know somebody's asking you to do something that's not right, or you just know you need to take care of something and you're putting it off, or you know it's the right thing, but it's so hard to do it, just do it. That really will build your self-esteem. So that really is the law of the mirror in so many words. But the key points that I want to leave with you on the law of the mirror is build your self-esteem. And we all have times where our self-esteem can go up, it can go down, depending on what's happening in our life. But it should be in the middle, kind of like, it shouldn't be so up and down that it affects how we feel, where we just want to either harm ourselves, or our self-esteem is so super high that we think we're like God's gift to the earth. It needs to be balanced. And so I encourage you to build it if you need to build it. I encourage you to look at yourself in the mirror and see your potential. And if you have trouble seeing your potential, if you have trouble seeing yourself as valuable, please reach out to a counselor, reach out to someone that can support you, because in order for you to move forward through life and be successful and be the best you can be, you have to identify that low self-esteem. You have to identify that you're not valuing yourself and make a plan to do it. And many times we just need someone to stand right beside us and be there for us. So please do that. Um, before I go today or in this video, I am I want to talk about two mastermind groups that I have going on that will kick off in January. And I know that January is the time, and I know some of you are doing it now. You're thinking about your resolutions. You're thinking about making plans. I'm actually attending a goal setting and planning webinar with Jack Canfield tomorrow on Thursday. On Wednesday. Today is Tuesday. On Wednesday, and so we're already in that mode, right? So we're like, we got our 2021 planner. We're all hoping and praying that 2021 don't be the same as 2020 and all of that. I want to encourage you to take time for Christmas, give yourself a Christmas gift to say, you know what, I am going to invest in myself and get it in a mastermind group that will take me to my next level. Whether it's a mastermind group for personal growth, which is this one that we're going to start, it's going to be on a Monday evening, starting January 5th. Pretty much, you learn the skills to become the person you're created to be. Very simple. Because there's 15 valuable laws of growth, and we're going to dig into those 15 laws, and we're going to talk about them. You're going to be challenged. You're going to be motivated. You are going to be able to move beyond those self-limiting beliefs. You will be geared up with courage. So if there's things on your list, things that you've been wanting to do for the last 10 years, when you lead a mastermind group, you're going to think about those things throughout the mastermind group. But I've seen participants start to make plans for those things they've been wanting to do. And that's a big deal, especially if you've been kind of stuck in that. So this one, I definitely recommend. Reach out to me. And I can send you the link for Eventbrite where you can sign up for it. But it's going to be open for registration up until probably January 1st, only because probably even January 4th, because I like to send things to the participants. So I do want to have that time to do that. But the book you can find on Amazon or wherever you buy books at. You can just buy them and show up. It'll be virtual on Zoom. Show up with your book and be ready to learn. So that one is only going to be 8 weeks, every Monday for 8 weeks, starting January 5th. So just imagine if you join the mastermind group in January, you have all of January, you have February. In March, you'll be done, and I guarantee you will have grown in those 8 weeks. The next mastermind group is a leadership mastermind. This is for people who either want to be in leadership or are already in leadership and really want to increase their leadership skills. So this mastermind group is going to be on a Sunday, because I already had a mastermind group that was on Sundays before. So I have a few people from that group that want to study this book and want to increase their leadership skills. So if you want to join us, I welcome you. It would be like Sunday, like 5 o'clock Central. So if you're on Central, we'll be done in an hour and a half. So you still have your afternoon and you still have your evening. So it really doesn't conflict with like other things. But I will say Sundays is a sacrifice, especially in that time slot. So just know that going in, that we did it for 8 weeks. We knew Sundays was going to be a challenge, but we did it. And this one I'm really excited about because it's a new mastermind group for me to facilitate. But what I'm excited about is learning the successes and failures of leadership from John C. Maxwell. And so the book is presented as like a mentoring guide, from John to whoever's reading it. So we're going to really explore each of the chapters and really explore the book. This mastermind is going to be about 14 weeks. So it is a commitment, but I know without a shadow of a doubt that if you're in leadership now, you're going to go to a whole nother level. If you're not in leadership and you just want to learn, you're going to go to another level. So again, just contact me and I will send you the Eventbrite. You can either send me an instant message, you can respond or reply to this video. Either way, just contact me for that. So as I wrap up my time with you today, and I know I was talking a lot today, I'm so excited to be back. But one thing I do want to ask is, how are you really doing today? Like, not just how are you, but how are you really, 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 really doing? Are you okay? Are you going through some things? Are you having an emotional day? Are you just filled with disappointment? Are you filled with joy? Are you happy? Are you sad? So, how are you really doing? How's your heart? How does your heart feel? If you want to share, just put a one word in the in the in the in the chat. Just say sad, just say happy, just say excited, whatever that is. Put that in there, because I will say, for the holidays especially, if you are a person like me that struggles through the holidays, my best advice is to tell you, just take care of yourself. I mean, and I know you might think that DRT, that sounds so simple. Why are you saying that? Because if I don't take care of myself, then I may be sad or have emotions or all of that, but eating right, eating, eating right, um, maybe go for a walk, get enough sleep, all those play into a factor of me feeling worse or better. And I say that because I recognize signs of when I am leaning toward depression. And I struggled with depression when I was younger. I struggled with it as an adult, but it's gotten better over the years instead of worse. But during the holidays, it kind of like kicks in. And sometimes before, I guess in the last 3 or 4 years, I begin to identify that's what it is, where before I didn't have the awareness to understand and identify that's what that was. So my sign to know that I am leaning toward depression is that I don't eat. Like, all of a sudden, I just spend the whole day doing things, and before I know it, it's 7 o'clock p.m. or 8 o'clock p.m. and I haven't eaten a thing, and I'm not hungry. And so when I notice that, when I see that happening, I quickly can identify that, you know what, I'm starting to experience depression. Let me eat. Because if I don't eat that first day and I don't eat that second day, it's going to be hard to pull myself out of that slump of that depression. So what is your sign? If you struggle with depression, you struggle with anxiety, you struggle with just sadness, what is that sign that, when this happens, then that means I need to be aware of it and then identify it, and figure out how I can take care of myself so that it don't take me as long to get out of it. I know nobody wants to talk about depression and sadness and everything, but it's true. So I'm here to help you. I'm here to be of value. I will be on next Tuesday and the Tuesdays, throughout the month December. And every time I talk during the month December, I will probably bring up the same thing because it's so important. But enough about that. I hope that the law of the mirror part 2, because I remembered the other day that I did talk about the law of the mirror on a different level, probably about a month ago. But this is part 2 of the law of the mirror. I hope this was very beneficial and helpful to you, and that you learned something new. That's the goal, right? Learn something new. And I will see you next Tuesday, which is the 15th of December, same time, same channel. And if you need anything, please reach out. Have any questions, reach out. Thank you for your comments and your encouraging words for me as well throughout these last 2 or 3 months that I've been doing these. But thank you so much, and bye for now.